Okay, here we go. Setting times of charm, folks. So, uh, we are recording this video to help you all with mitigating and minimizing the effects of social isolation during this time. So obviously we're in a very we're in unknown territory at the moment. These changes that are occurring are happening weekly, sometimes even daily, and we don't really know where we're going. So these could last quite a while, but it doesn't mean that we can't minimize the effects. We can't learn to deal with them. Setting your day up as best you can. So the first thing I would focus on when we are getting set up for this is trying to establish some form of normality, routine. Write down your day in your planner. Make sure that you know when you're working, set up your work hours. If you normally work 9 to 5, you work 9 to 5. You don't do extra just because you have time at your desk, unless your work specifically asked you for this for some reason. But if you have a standard 9 to 5 working hour, you get up, you get dressed, you eat, you do what you need to do, just like you would a normal day. Don't wait 15 minutes before your shift to run out of bed, half dressed on a Skype call with your jumper on and nothing on underneath because they can't see you on the camera. How you dress and how you set your morning up will affect the rest of your day in terms of mindset. So 100% keep going as if you were getting up for a normal day. Setting up a workspace now, depending on the size of your house or flat, will depend on the size of area that you have to work with. Right now for me, I am set up on my dining room table. Now, when I finish work, for however long that may be, I will be taking the laptop away from the desk, cleaning up the desk, and going back to normality in terms of I eat off of this, not I work off of this. It's something small, but differentiating where you work from and where you relax is incredibly important. When you can, take a break, get up, get coffee and stretch. This is more just to move blood back around your body and to stop you being so stiff after sitting in the same position all day. And it's something I recommend you do, even if you were going about your day as regular. Communicate. Depending on your situation, you may be home with others, you may not. Depending on your situation, you might wish you weren't home with others. That's okay, but you have to realize that the people that you communicate with daily, whether they're in your physical space or they're in your social space, are going to make the difference for your mental health. FaceTime your family and friends at least once a day. Social isolation can creep up on you and make your day so much worse. Make sure that you're talking to folk. Even just hearing your mum's voice on the phone can be really inspiring and can be really emotionally supportive. It's just to make you realize that although you're in your own little bubble of self-isolation, we're all in these little bubbles and we're all connected by this one issue. So you have to understand that you're not the only one going through this and that you can speak to people about it as well. Daily journaling. Yes, it sounds silly, but it's not. It's time to practice the attitude of gratitude. And what we're going to do is write 2 things that we're grateful for each day and then 2 things we want to work on. The reason for doing this is as a practice, as a form of practicing self-reflection to understand how we can get better. The way that my clients achieve results is that they self-reflect on the behaviours that they are working towards improving and the ones that they are continuously implementing and practicing that help them get towards their goals. If you're not thinking about the changes that you could make, then you're not working hard enough. Engaging communities. It can be this page. It could be a coronavirus as a conspiracy page. Speak to someone. Use this Facebook group. The whole reason that I made it was so people could communicate. I have some friends that I met when I used to play RuneScape. Now, RuneScape is an RPG game that it's like a wizarding game. Think World of Warcraft. If you don't know what that is, think something like Harry Potter. I have friends that I met on that when I was 12 that I have met in real life, and that I have been privy to some of their personal lives, like weddings. And it's, you don't understand the relationships you can build during this time. So don't forget that these are people on the other end too, and that they are there for you just as much as you're there for them. Excuse me, it's my coronavirus kicking in. My girlfriend just threw a pen at me. Sorry, maybe it's not the time to make those jokes. Be active. My clients are already having their workouts adapted to continue to progress with home equipment. Your goals don't change, so don't give up. You have to take the time to change your mindset with this. You have to understand the principles that go into your goals, regardless of what they are, can be adapted to and work from the home environment. They do not have to be put on hold, they just have to be adjusted. Move whilst you can. Run, walk, bodyweight exercises. You're still able to work towards your goals. Even if your goal is not to end up chasing your kid through a maze with an axe, and I realise that people probably won't get this reference, it's from The Shining. I probably will make a list of films to watch whilst you're in isolation. I don't recommend you watch that one because it's probably the worst example of social isolation and what it can do to a person. So if you haven't seen it, don't watch it. It might freak you out. Or do watch it. You might then see the signs, so that if your partner starts writing on the walls and repeating themselves and talking to ghosts, I would get the fuck out of there. Moving on, I would recommend that you aim to get X amount of steps a day. It doesn't matter what. It could be 5,000, 10,000, 2,000. You can pace up and down your hallway. You can walk up and down the stairs of your apartment building. Presume the lockdown legislation allows you to do that. But just keep moving. Again, I can't express how important just getting to move every day is, especially if you're going to be in a position where you're sat at your desk from 9 till 5. The rest of the time, you're going to want to be moving, whether it's a yoga mobility flow, it's doing an online class, it's doing a workout. All these things are small contributors to keep your mental health up. Staying on your goals. Adjust the method, if not the goal. All right, yes, we don't have access to a hack squat, to classes, to 120 kilo deadlifts. We don't have access to certain things, but the principles don't change. If you're trying to gain muscle, you need to train close to failure, hit at least 10 hard sets per muscle group. Excuse me. It just changes the implementation. Where some of my clients, their squats and leg presses are in the hundreds of kilos. They're going to have to adjust their methods. So they're probably not going to be doing a lot of squatting. They're going to be doing a lot of lunging. They're going to increase the time under tension. They're going to be doing 3-second lowering phases in a lunge, 3-second pauses, and 3 seconds on the way up to increase the tension on the muscles. There's lots of different things that they're going to do, and you need to adapt your training to make it harder. Yes, of course, it's not going to be easy. It's going to have some challenge, but this is when you discover how much you're willing to work for your training and how much you can gain from it. If you want to lose fat, you still need to be in a deficit. Okay, you may have less calories to play with because you're less active, but if you think about it this way, you have control over every single aspect of your nutrition. Right now, as I record this, McDonald's is shutting down. There's all these places are no longer doing takeaways, so you won't have the option to eat shit. You will have control over every single meal you have. With the sparseness of the food in the shops, you will probably not be able to buy treats. You will have to focus on fruits and veggies and lean meats. This is probably one of the best times to be able to make this kind of progress. So for me, you just have to change your mindset, because that's how you change your implementation. And it's like your mindset affects your implementation. So folks, I understand that this is obviously a scary time and it's an uncomfortable time, but the one thing I would leave with you, and the one thing that I am thinking of every single day when I wake up, is to chase discomfort. This can only make you better as a person. And whether you like it or not, the isolation is going to continue for at least a month. Realistically, we'll be looking at this for probably 3 months. It's your choice whether or not you drag your heels along this or whether or not you charge headlong into the fire and come out of it a stronger person. Please use this community to grow and to challenge yourself and to ask us questions. We're here to support you. I'm here to support you, but you have to take that first step. I had a Dumbledore quote for this.